Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reviews That Don't Matter with Jessica Hit. My name is Jessica Hit. On today's episode, we are talking Thor Ragnarok, which came out like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't know. And I'm finally getting around to review it. Yeah, let's just get into it. I'll just say it outright. I really liked this movie. I did. I really enjoyed it. It's the best comedy of the year by far. Actually, it's probably the funniest movie I've seen since like 22 Jump Street, and it's been a while since that's come out. And I think that it just provided this whole new outlook on Thor, who I was feeling a little bit like, not like perturbed by, but just kind of just not excited for it all. Like, I really was not excited for Thor Ragnarok until probably about 2 months ago. Started seeing some stuff from it. I really liked the first trailer that came out. I do think that it worried me a little bit with the whole the very prominent song that it featured in that, because a lot of movies have been doing that these days, and now movies kind of just become like a really weird music video for these songs that I don't need. I just want a movie. But honestly, I did not have to worry about that with Thor Ragnarok at all. Started out with the song that is featured in the trailer, and I think it worked really well. And then I didn't really feel like I had to worry about any of that throughout the entire movie, and then it popped back up at the very end, and I thought it fit really well and it bookended really well. And I do feel like there are some people who are a little down on the movie because it doesn't necessarily, it's not full of heart. It's not like full of Ant-Man heart. And they do gloss over some moments that you think that they would spend a little bit more time on, and maybe put in more jokes and all that stuff. But I had a blast watching this film. I really did. I liked watching something that felt so out of this world and just made me laugh for the first time. Like, I haven't laughed that hard in a very long time. And while something like a Spider-Man Homecoming is funny in its own right, it has a lot of heart and it really focuses on that part of it, this movie doesn't. So what? I like the comedy aspects I get out of it, and I actually got, you know what? I got what I wanted out of it. I got a smarter Thor because he's finally wised up to Loki's tricks. I got Loki and Thor back together again. I love their dynamic. Valkyrie's awesome. Like, amazing. They didn't do a forced love connection between her and Thor, which is amazing. And I got the Hulk as a 2-year-old Hulk who can kind of speak, and he's just like a real terrible Hulk, and it's amazing. I loved it. We also got Jeff Goldblum being the Jeff Goldblum that we all want, not like the stupid Independence Day Resurgence Jeff Goldblum. I got what I wanted from Jeff Goldblum in this movie. And while I liked Cate Blanchett as Hela, I wasn't crazy about Hela the character in general. I thought she looked awesome. I think that Cate Blanchett was great as the villain. I think she added a little bit more to this villain than a lot of times you see in the Marvel universe. But I don't necessarily think that this is a villain that's on the levels of a Loki. And I think she might be a little overhyped in this role. I still would love to see her pop up in more things. I think that she would be fun. I think seeing her with Thanos, I think that would be a great pair up, in my opinion, because she is just so, like, regal, but, like, she really thinks that she should be in charge of all this stuff. And then there's Thanos, who wouldn't let her do it. And I think it'd just be a really fun back and forth. And that's a love connection I would like to see. 2 villains falling in love and making like the worst pairing ever. I also felt like this movie was very into just kind of throwing out some of the stuff we built for the first 2 Thor movies, like the Warriors 3. I mean, spoiler alert, by the way, if you have not seen the movie yet, please turn this off or keep watching. I really, it's up to you guys. But I'm going to go into spoiler territory now, since you kind of know how I feel about the movie. I'm going to spoil stuff. They kill off the Warriors 3 in this, which happens really fast. I mean, literally, Zachary Levi gets like one word out and then just gets stabbed, and he's dead. He's gone, so he's going to go be Shazam. And then they don't mention Lady Sif at all in this movie, which I think that they should have been like, well, Lady Sif's off in another planet doing something. And also, Thor never got like a moment to mourn the Warriors 3. I mean, these people grew up together. They're best friends, you know? Like, he should feel something about it. And I understand that he was a little busy and he might not even have noticed it, but there should have been some acknowledgement, in my opinion, even though I didn't care about Thor the Dark World. And Thor was an okay movie, nothing spectacular, in my opinion. Also, they just completely destroyed Asgard. Like, completely. They made Ragnarok happen, which I thought was a fun twist to that. Like, the whole point of the movie is that Asgard does fall into ruins to defeat Hela because the other two aren't strong enough to do that. I like how also they make it to where even Loki and Heimdall and Thor and Valkyrie and Korg all cannot defeat Hela at all. I mean, Thor loses an eye, for Christ's sake. Like, they're no match for her, and I like how they were smart about it, and they had to go do something a little different as opposed to like, oh, I'm going to have a heartfelt moment, and then all of a sudden I'm going to be able to beat Hela when you can't. And this movie introduced a lot of great characters in the Grandmaster, which has connections to the Collector with Benicio del Toro, and also we get Valkyrie, who is just... Can we just talk about Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie for a moment? Because that was amazing. I feel like some people have told me in the past that if I were a superhero, they would remind me of like Jessica Jones, which I, not quite sure if that's like a compliment considering she has some issues. I would rather be a Valkyrie where, you know what? I might be an alcoholic, but I'm a badass. And like, I'm willing to kind of deal with my issues, to go back and save everybody, even though all of my teammates and the rest of the Valkyries, my friends, were murdered by Hela. And also, she just had this really great buddy comedy like stuff going on with Hulk, which was just so funny. And then when Hulk went to Banner, and they were just like, God, I feel like I know you from somewhere. It was just such a great running gag. It was amazing. But what I really want to do is kind of talk about the like moments that actually made me like almost cry laugh. They were so funny to me. Okay, all of the stuff when it happened, when Loki like figured out that the Hulk was the champion of this world and was fighting Thor, he's like, I gotta get out of here. And then when when the Hulk took Thor and did that thing he did with Loki in the Avengers where he just thrashed him around, and Loki was just like, you know how it feels now. Like, that's funny. Everything with Korg is hilarious. I mean, at the end when he's holding his friend, and he's like, oh yeah, he died. I stepped on him back in Asgard. I could not stop laughing. I thought that was so freaking funny. But hands down, the best moment of this movie is when Bruce Banner decides that he's going to go back into Hulk form to help everybody on Asgard. And he jumps out of the plane thinking that he's going to turn into the Hulk. And he crashes on the sort of rainbow bridge from Super Mario Kart. And basically is just destroyed. Like, he's like completely bent. He's dead. And then turns into Hulk. Like, it is so funny. Because you're like, oh yeah, he's going to land as the Hulk because he turned in midair. Nope, he basically killed himself. And now I'm kind of wondering, like, obviously I don't think Bruce Banner's dead because there was that whole line where he tried to commit suicide and he just spit the bullet out when he tried to shoot himself in the head. So I don't think he's dead, but, like, I feel like it's going to be a while until he can turn into Bruce Banner again. Also, are we ever going to get an adult Hulk where he can, like, form actual sentences and he's, like, sitting there, like, reading a book or something and he's just like, and then he just throws the book and, like, destroys a wall or something? I want to see adult Hulk or teenage Hulk or something. I just want to see more Hulk in my movies. And here's the thing. I feel like Thor Ragnarok really rejuvenated Thor, and I could almost see another 2 movies making this a trilogy. Like, this was the end of the first trilogy, but the beginning of the second trilogy. Like, I want more Thor movies now. You know, it's not like Iron Man where, like, I could do without another Iron Man movie, but I enjoy the trilogy we got. Captain America, I'd still probably really want another Captain America, but I don't even know where they would go with it because Civil War was such a sort of, like, funny into his sort of Captain America role, I feel like. Whereas this is a completely different Thor. Like, they just toss aside Jane Foster and everybody from Earth, which was smart, and then they add in all these amazing characters that are otherworldly and are going to fit in really well with, you know, Infinity Stone Part 1 and Part 2, where Thanos is going after all of these Infinity Stones that are just, like, spread out and then everybody has to fight him. Like, I'm excited. I do think that this movie in particular should have been the movie right before Avengers Infinity Stone, the first one, and maybe like Black Panther would have premiered, which I cannot wait to see Black Panther. Maybe I'm just so excited to see that movie that I wish I had it right now. But I'm very excited that as a February release date, I don't have to wait too long for it. But I do think that it would have been a perfect intro movie to the next Avengers. I really, really do. Just how like Captain America, the first Avenger, was a really great lead-in to Avengers. Anyway, I am super high on this movie. I mean, this is probably my favorite Marvel movie I've seen in a really long time. And I understand where people are saying that, you know what, there's like almost no substance. I think there's substance. I found some really great heart-wrenching moments in it that maybe didn't last long, but I got it. And I laughed my ass off in this movie. So you know what? Sometimes you just need a good comedy. And Marvel does a great thing of having subgenres inside the genre of a superhero movie. And this was their comedy part of it. And I liked it. Okay? Okay, I hope you guys liked this review. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on Thor Ragnarok? Where do you rate it on a list? Did you not like it? Did you really like it? Did you think it was just average? And also, don't forget to subscribe. I make videos Monday through Friday. I usually miss 1 or 2 days a week, but you know what? Oh well. Okay, bye.